here's a quick tip. I'm resurrecting one of my old pickup tubes with the filter cage and the floating ball, of course. Now, I haven't used this for a few years, so I actually just put it through a steamer. I'm a home brewer, I don't have an autoclave or anything like that, so I thought I'd just give it a quick steam. I know people are going to go, what are you doing? That equipment had been cleaned, dried and stored for years. I possibly could have used it by just sanitizing it, but the rest of my equipment was ready to go. I didn't want to mix up a new batch of cleaner just for the pickup tube and lid. I just boiled some water, put it in the colander, put the lid on and steamed it for 20 minutes while I was doing other things. That way I just knew everything was sanitized. As I said, I hadn't used it for a few years. I wanted to double check, and then I realized it has been a long time since I've used this, because in here is a nut, a stainless nut, just like a lot of other people have used over the years, or stainless washers. You know, they're not designed for it. So the last couple of years I've been using a stir bar. It's heavy enough to get the job done. Not only that, it's made for these conditions. It's made for chemicals of different pHs, like your wort, or it's made for boiling to sanitize it. It's made for these sort of conditions. And yeah, stainless is pretty tough and made for a lot of conditions. It's also got a lot more nooks and crannies. A stir bar is easy to get, easy to sanitize, easy to clean. And for those of you that use magnets in your fermenter, since that's magnetic and most good stainless isn't, you might be able to use your magnets to move that around in your fermenter if you really wanted to. Just about any stir bar will do. Of course, make sure it's going to fit in your cage. But personally, that gives me a lot more peace of mind than that does. While we're here, if you haven't seen my other videos, I've done a lot of videos on Fermzillas. The other good tip for using these pickup tubes is to cut them to length. I cut them so when that's hanging straight down in the fermenter when it's empty, this doesn't reach the valve. That stops a lot of tangles. And as you're going down in the fermenter, it tends to stay away from the side a bit more. You can see here, as it's got lower, it's pulling away from the side. Normally, if you had a longer cord, it would be sucking in some of the gunk there on the side, and you'd be getting that into your keg. You can see here, once we're getting right down near the bottom, I'm still away from the side, I'm still pulling clear wort. Normally I wouldn't empty a fermenter this much, and I'd plan to leave a litre or two behind just so you're not picking up junk. But if you have to empty to that level, you can see there that's a much better way of doing it. And it works perfectly well. There's no need to go and spend money on a different pickup tube. Please consider joining our Instagram page and Facebook group. You can also check out these Fermzilla videos or click this one to subscribe. Thank you.